They're not taking you because of me, Cheryl. They're taking you because you finally picked the wrong guy. That line is looping in my head while the deputy clicks handcuffs around the HOA president's wrists on my dock. She's red-faced, screaming that I stole her lake and her neighborhood, and I'm standing there with a cup of coffee cameras rolling and a row of metal signs behind me that all say the same thing. Private lake, no HOA authority. A year earlier, I'd have said this sounded ridiculous, some online exaggeration. But if you've ever dealt with a petty tyrant with a clipboard and a smile, you know how fast ridiculous becomes real. So let me tell you how a guy who just wanted a quiet house with a nice view ended up buying an entire lake to shut down one woman who didn't understand the word no. My name is Jake Miller, mid-30s, remote. Cybersecurity. Work, nothing flashy. I like quiet. I like control over my own stuff. And I'm the kind of person who actually reads every page of a contract. So when I found this brick house in a small North Carolina town backyard, sloping down to a clear lake, maples over the water, and the survey showed my lot sat just outside the local HOA boundary, it felt perfect. Across the cove sat silver birch landing, all matching mailboxes and trimmed hedges. Nice to look at from a distance, and I remember thinking good for them. Not my circus. I move in life is good. Until a white Lexus glides up like it's entering a commercial, and out steps this woman in a navy blazer and pearls tablet and leather folder in hand, like she printed herself from an HOA template. She walks straight through my open front door without knocking, smiles like she owns the air, and says, "Jacob Miller, I'm Cheryl Benson, president of the Silver Birch Landing Homeowners Association. Welcome to our community." I tell her friendly that according to county records, my property isn't in the association. That smile twitches. She opens the folder pages of rules and fines and says, technically, your parcel is just outside the original plat. But since you share the lake and entrance, we expect you to follow our standards. It's only fair. Here are your covenants and payment schedule, sign here, so we can bring you into compliance. She offers me a pen, like this is a formality. I look at the pen, look at her, and feel that stubborn click in my chest. I say calm. I bought this place specifically because it's not in an HOA. My lawyer and the county confirmed that. So I won't be joining, but I'll keep my place clean. You'll have no trouble from me. The air tightens. Her voice drops. People who choose not to cooperate with Silver Birch usually find this neighborhood isn't a good fit, she says, then turns and walks out like she just laid a curse. That should have been it. Adults disagree. Life goes on. But Cheryl does not do boundaries. 2 days later, there's an envelope taped to my door. Notice of violation. Non-compliant mailbox. Color, fine, $250. My mailbox is beige like half of theirs. I laugh, toss it. Then comes improper lawn maintenance, unauthorized vehicle, my truck in my own driveway, excessive exterior lighting. Each one has her letterhead threats about further action. I know she has no legal power over me, but seeing your name in that language still punches your gut. A neighbor I haven't met messages me screenshots of the HOA Facebook group, photos of my house and truck, with captions like, "Some people think they're above community standards." One new resident refuses to respect what we all pay to protect. They never say my name. They don't have to. Strangers call me selfish, trashy, bad for property values. I haven't even met them. It hits that old nerve, being the easy target. One evening, I bring the stack back to Cheryl's door. I tell her, My place is not under your HOA stop with the fake violations and public shaming. She gives me that practiced smile and says, "We're documenting non-compliance." Jacob, the association has remedies for residents who don't align with expectations. Remedies. Right. That night I stop hoping she'll get bored and go away. I sit with my laptop and do what I do best. I follow the data. County maps, tax records, HOA filings, plats boring to most people, clear as day to me. Silver Birch owns their sign, their pool, their park. They do not own my road. They do not own my parcel. Then I look up Foxglove Lake, the one on all their flyers. Owner of record is not the HOA. It's one man. Harold Cole. No easement, no lease, nothing. 2 decades of private community lake built on assumption. Next morning I call the number on file. Harold picks up, old voice, sharp mind. When I explain, he laughs. "They still acting like they bought my water," he says. "Never sold them a drop." I ask if he'd ever sell. He pauses, then says, "Come by tomorrow. Bring copies." At his table, we spread his deed next to screenshots of their website bragging about exclusive resident access, and you can see him go from amused to offended. I let them use it to be neighborly, he mutters, and they charged people for it. I nod. He stares out the window a moment, then says, "If somebody's gonna own it, better be someone who reads the fine print." I make a fair offer, he takes it. We get lawyers do it clean. Somewhere between signing and recording, Cheryl finds out. The morning Harold and I walk the shoreline. To confirm boundaries, her Lexus appears. She marches down with 2 board members, points at me and barks, "Harold, you cannot sell our community lake to this man. We have rights. We have history. We'll fight this." Harold looks at her tired. "Cheryl, it's my lake, always has been, and I can sell it to whoever I choose," he says. I'm quietly recording while she jabs a finger at me. "If you go through with this, Jacob, we will make your life hell." I just tell her, "You've already been trying." 30 days later, Foxglove Lake is legally mine. Owning the lake doesn't make me vengeful, it makes me precise. I get environmental approval, structural plans, permits from every office that might care. Then, on a clear Monday morning, construction trucks roll in to build a real dock 60 feet out with a T at the end, something solid that nobody can miss. Right on cue, Cheryl storms over, yelling at the crew that this is illegal, waving pages of codes threatening to shut this down. My contractor points at the permit board we posted. "All signed off, ma'am. Call the inspector if you want." She does. The inspector comes, checks everything, tells us to keep working. You can see it hit her that her favorite move, calling someone bigger to scare people, just died on my shoreline. I post the signs next. Private property, no trespassing. Lake access by written permission only. And at the old path they've worn through the trees, one that reads, "Silver Birch Landing, HOA has no authority beyond this point." Group chats light up. A couple neighbors come by, polite, curious, and I finally tell someone. The whole story, start to finish. Cheryl tries one more legal round, shows up with printouts about prescriptive easements and implied community rights, reads them like a closing argument. I let her finish, then point to the deed and say, "Use isn't ownership. Harold let you in. You turned it into a weapon. That courtesy is gone." Her mask slips. "You're vindictive. You're holding this community hostage." She spits and peels out. Then comes the morning that ends it. Just after sunrise, my motion alerts ping. On my phone, I see Cheryl in dark clothes, with bolt cutters cutting through my fence at the old path, stepping through like she's leading a mission heading straight for my dock. I hit record to call the sheriff, walk down to where she can hear me and say, "Cheryl, you're trespassing on my property. Go back through the fence." She spins around, eyes wild. "This is community land. You can't steal 20 years of access with paperwork if you want me gone. Arrest me," she shouts. So they do. Deputy Harris shows up, sees the cut fence, sees my footage, sees her planted on my dock, gives her every chance. "Ma'am, step off so we can talk," calm as can be. She refuses, starts screaming about corruption and conspiracies in front of a half circle of neighbors. When he cuffs her for trespassing and property damage and walks her back up the hill, she's yelling, "I'm the HOA president. You can't arrest me." And you can feel the whole street silently answering, "Yeah, they can." After that, everything unravels fast on its own. The board distances themselves. Financial records get questioned. People realize they've been paying for lake access. Their HOA never owned. And the anger lands where it should. A new president. Megan reaches out. We meet at a coffee shop. She apologizes for the harassment, shows me the mess Cheryl left behind, and asks if there's a way to move forward. I'm not out to punish every neighbor. I set up a simple permit system. Clear rules, limited hours. Waivers. Zero HOA authority. Kids can fish. Families can plan small events if they treat the place right. And honestly, the lake is calmer than it ever was under Cheryl's fake control. My dock turns into this symbol, a reminder that someone finally told the bully no and backed it up. And here's where I know people start to split. Did I go too far? I had the law on my side from day one. I could have ignored her until she burned out. But if you've dealt with someone like that, you know they don't burn out. They burn through people. Buying the lake, locking down the rules, posting those signs, documenting every stunt until she put herself in handcuffs territory. It was a lot. Some folks say it's petty. Others call it justice. For me, it was drawing a line in ink instead of pencil. People like Cheryl count on everyone else being tired, busy, scared, willing to pay a bogus fine just to avoid noise. I had the skills, the proof, and yeah, enough money to push back, so I did. She lost the title and the illusion of power she never really had. I got my mornings on the dock, my quiet, and a neighborhood that finally knows the real story. So now, I'm curious what you think. In my shoes, would you have bought the lake and shut her down? Opened it wide the second she was gone? Or done something in between? Did I stand up for myself? Or turn into the same kind of control freak, just dressed in legal paperwork instead of a blazer? And if you've ever been on the wrong end of an HOA, a boss, a neighbor who thought the rules only applied to you, tell me your story in the comments. Call me out if you think I crossed the line. Back me up. If you get it, and if you're staring at a violation right now that feels wrong in your gut. Remember this? You have every right to read the fine print and say no.